Cozy.
So, this, just to go over this trade real quick while I'm in it, right? This is NASDAQ. As we can see, we are, it's weird because we're moving kind of like in a sideways, right? And it seems like we've been, kind of bearish long-term go. I'm sorry. We've been bearish for a minute, right? Constantly dropping down. However, we broke this daily high. For me, that indicates bullishness, right? Off of the 4 hour. No, this is a very. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna try to maybe stick to like a 1-to-1 for today. But originally, I was hoping for this zone down here, right? But we can see that this is a rally, a base, small rally, right? Again, this is why I'm saying I'm gonna just attempt to do a small 1-to-1. Get out probably sooner than later. But we're gonna target the these highs up here. I had also marked, as you guys can see to the left, this is area where there is potential money, these stop losses right here. So objectively, the move might be to come up here and take that liquidity before we go ahead and come back down for a pullback. Now, price could still come down and stop me out. It could also come to this demand and push up. This, for me, to be quite frank, is a C setup. Now, I'm risking 1%, but I believe achieving a 1-to-1 is possible. But we're going to go ahead and see, and yeah. So, I'm kind of looking at this, right? And again, this is definitely not, I would say, I wouldn't consider this an A setup, all right? I definitely would consider this like a C setup, possibly even less, possibly a D setup. So, essentially, if we do break the lows of the previous high, I'm going to close one of these out and then let the other one get stopped out. I moved my 1-to-1 up here because this was my original entry, so I want price to come up here. As y'all could see, price did come up and hit a 1-to-1 technically for that small pullback, which is this second entry here. But I need price to go to 1-to-1 for my original entry, or essentially as soon as I get to $50, which again, that's a 1-to-1 at that point. I'm going to be closing probably 80, maybe 90%, maybe the full thing. We'll see. So this is what I'm talking about, not being sometimes prepared. Thank God I took a like around 0.5% win, right? But as y'all can see, price did go at a point, it did go to 50. And I closed out what was supposed to be 80%. And It didn't. I mean, as y'all can see, like it closed like it was $11 in profit. I'm looking at it like, dude, it should have closed like at least 30 something plus dollars. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean $11? So at that point, I decided like, no, I might as well, let me close one of my positions because, again, this for me is not a setup. If it was an A setup, I'm letting it run fully to 3RR, 4RR, 5R. Really, most of my trades, I let them run to at least 5RR. I'm not a huge fan of 3RRs or less than 3RRs. I've fallen in love with 5RRs because from my back testing, from what I've done, I would say 50% of the time, if it goes to 3RR, it's gonna go to 5. And from my back testing, I won't deny that like maybe there's been possibly four extra trades that made it to 3RR and never made it to 5. But the difference in profit wasn't that different, And again, with this setup of this 4-hour demand zone, right? The way that it is, I mean, again, if you guys can see it, right? There's no guarantee the price is gonna run up here, okay? If we can see this, and then we can even go to the daily. Like, yes, price could potentially come up here, but there's no guaranteed. I mean, even off of the daily, this could be a daily supply, right, for it to come down, even though we broke structure. Nothing's guaranteed in this, right? But again, for me to really have confidence like that in my trade, I need to at least to let it run, right? I need something like this right here. If price comes down here, I'm holding it. I'm not closing, at 1-to-1s. I'm not a huge fan of 1-to-1s to begin with, right? But with something like that where it's a C setup, I'm like, okay, well, I'll give it a shot. Why not? Why not? And as you guys can see, price did come. It literally, it got super close to reaching a 1-to-1 for the first initial trade. It definitely hit the 1-to-1 for the second, that second entry that was below there. And now it's doing a little pullback now. Whether it stops me out or continues to push up, we will see. But I think this is my trade for the day. And unless price comes down to potentially even this I'm hesitant, because I was going to say, unless price comes down to this 1 hour, I'll take it. But even that, I'm very hesitant. Why? Because as you guys can see, yes, we have one big candle right here. Look, doji, long, look at these long shadows. And again, we have a tail here, small body though. And then after that, sideways movement. Look at that, sideways movement. That doesn't give me confidence. But for example, here, right, we had again a rally, a base, right, followed by a rally. Look at these massive candles, man. Big candle, before it started, to lose momentum. And then even here, even though we have, this bearish candle, look at this, nice. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. So if we close it at $20, that's 1% for the day. I think we're gonna, we're gonna take it. There we go, 1% profit for the day. Little scalp for the day. Like I said, I would consider myself an intraday trader. I prefer intraday, but I got my little dub and I'm gonna get going. Without further ado, guys, though, it's Los Trades. Take care.
Good day, mama. Seem to take a step out, get some air now, let your edge out.